Welcome to eCommerce 360. Today I'm joined by Dimitar at eCommerce 360, the growth marketing expert at SMS Bump. SMS Bump is a smart SMS marketing platform for e-commerce businesses. Welcome, Dimitar.
Hi, welcome to all your listeners as well.
To start off with, can you tell us a bit about SMS Bump, what it is aiming to achieve for e-commerce businesses?
Yep, sure. We are an SMS marketing app, and our goal is to empower e-commerce brands to be able to make the most out of text marketing for their business. And there are many different ways you can utilize the power of SMS messaging, which boasts an incredible 90% open rate and over 35% click-through rate. And we have developed many features for using SMS, and we're creating even more and more ways for e-commerce brands to use this fantastic channel, SMS messaging.
That's great. So, also, could you let us know since the inception, right, how positive has been the adoption for SMS marketing in the e-commerce ecosystem?
Yep. So just a little bit about SMS. Everyone is used to SMS from the start of mobile phone technology and sending SMS messages between family members. Um, Way before all the other messaging apps like Messenger, WhatsApp, and Viber. But in terms of e-commerce, in the past, SMS was used just by big corporation, and it was very technical. You had to have contact with the big phone operators to send messages. It was very expensive, very resource intensive, very technical. And today, everyone can use the power of SMS. We have all sizes of clients and stores. We have drop shippers, we have multinational big online retailers. But just to give you an example of how SMS has changed, over the 4 days of Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend last year in 2020, our users sent 3 times more text messages than the previous year, which showed tremendous growth for SMS as a channel just in 12 months. And our brands that sent SMS messages generated over $23 million in revenue just over Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which is an increase of over 638% compared to 2019. This is what our research showed.
That's amazing. That's an awesome growth. So,
Nice.
so I also noticed that when I was going over your website, that SMS Bump has a lot of native integrations with a slew of e-commerce apps. Do you want to talk to us about it? Like, why did you have so many integrations, and how these integrations come into play for e-commerce businesses?
Yep. Well, first of all, it's important that you mention integrations because now there are more and more solutions for e-commerce stores, and I think it's very important for every provider, every app to be able to communicate with
Mhm.
the other apps to have this kind of ecosystem. And you can, with SMS Bump, you can integrate SMS as a communication channel with pretty much everything in your e-commerce stack. You can integrate it with your reviews, with your loyalty program, even with your customer support. For example, with SMS Bump and with Gorgeous or Zendesk, which provides customer support platforms,
Yes. Yeah.
you can have two-way communication with your customers using SMS and SMS Bump as the medium, but communicating within the Zendesk or Gorgeous environment. So, for example, your customer support agents don't have to switch between different apps. They can use Zendesk or Gorgeous, but they will be communicating with the clients over SMS, and which is great because imagine someone is on the move and they're wondering where their package is, and they can just send an SMS to the store and ask, where. By the way, where's my package? And the customer support agent can reply straight away with this integration. So I think like apart from a marketing channel, it's important that we see SMS for the bigger picture. It is a really fast and immediate way to communicate with clients, and it's not only one way, but also you can have conversations with your clients over SMS.
So when you talk about conversation with clients, right? So e-commerce businesses have always had conversation with clients, but they have not been as personalized as now, right? So personalization has been a watchword for a long time in e-commerce. Do you think SMS Bump is helping brands turn those dreams into reality with text or messaging?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And this is a great question. Um, I think personalization is the key to successful marketing nowadays. Um, Ideally, you want to segment your customers and send them relevant
Yeah.
content in the right time, and to
Mhm.
make sure the copy is highly personalized for them. And we help e-commerce companies in all those aspects with customer segmentation. In SMS Bump, you can create tailored automations and what we call flows, which are just sending automated messages based on customer segmentation. And of course, to add to that, you can add personalized attributes like person's names and what they ordered and items, so you can really make them feel that the message is specifically for them. You can have, for example, you can have an automated upsell communication. So, for example, you buy um, some like you buy a backpack from a store, and they send you an SMS message saying, oh, by the way, we have the same handbag, the same design handbag as this backpack. Would you like to order this as
Yeah.
well? With your order, order it
Mhm,
now,
mhm,
and you
mhm.
can receive the two orders together. Make use of this, and this is sent automatically, and you just set it up once, and you can base products on different like collections, or you can create any kind of use case.
Yeah.
And all this, and amazingly, all this is free with SMS Bump, and all you have to pay is for the SMS messages that are being sent. A little bit of sales here, sorry.
Yeah, that's great. So, what you're saying is very interesting, right? So, we can segment them based on their purchase history or
Yeah.
based on the product recommendations that e-commerce business want to, cross sell or upsell their customers to. So that's great. That's an amazing feature to have. So
Yeah.
let's start from the beginning. So, say I'm an e-commerce store, right? I've started using SMS Bump, right? What are the metrics that almost see an immediate impact as soon as I start using SMS Bump?
Well, the first thing you'll find if you research SMS marketing online, and if you research SMS Bump, is we are known for the return on investment you
Yeah.
will receive. This is what we are known for. And SMS messaging is very affordable. It's incredibly scalable, and it's great for reaching large amounts of customers cheaply. Um, of course, the bigger amount of subscribers you have, the more you will see from your initial investment in terms of messages sent. But this is one thing, and the other metric that's important that where you see an improvement is the average order value, which is of course likely to rise as you add another sales channel to your communication with clients. So if you already have email and you have any kind of ads running, imagine you're adding just an additional channel where you can reach your customers and reach them on the go, because it's not just on the go, because everyone is with their phone nowadays all the time. So it's a great way to offer
Okay.
an additional income.
So it's great that you mentioned ROI, because when I was going through the case studies of businesses that have been using SMS Bump, right? So I see that the claim is, a whooping 10x ROI. So how do you assist businesses to hit such aspirational milestone? 10x ROI is like, off the bat, it's too exciting. It's almost impossible. How does SMS Bump help businesses reach that?
Yeah. Um, well, here I can talk about um, a couple of key things that we do. One way we do this is through our automations. So, like I said earlier, you can send automated messages, like for example, abandoned cart reminders, welcome messages, customer reactivation texts, and have all this running on autopilot. So you just set this up once and let it do it work. Let it do its work. And we have a whole library of such pre-made automations that are really effective in generating sales and customer engagement. So we once you set them up, SMS messages are sent automatically to customers at the right time. And just to give you an example, we calculated that abandoned cards cart automated messages in 2020
Mhm.
resulted in revenue of over $5 for each of our clients. So each message generated over $5. Um, something else that helps achieve great ROI is obviously sending the right message to the right audience. When you build segments of customers based on specific characteristics. So this with this segmentation, especially when you automate it, you can send messages to customers based on what they bought, when they last shopped, what products they viewed, on what occasion did they buy, if it was on a specific holiday or e-commerce event. You can check if they're part of other segments that you have created, if they're your loyal customers, or if they haven't bought in the last 30 days. You can send a reactivation message saying, hey, come back, here's a 5% discount, for example, especially for you. You bought some trainers last time. Now we have great boots for sale this autumn. So you can easily create great campaigns with SMS, and you can do this. You can segment your users by any criteria: purchase history, behavior in the store. So it's great for creating custom campaigns and automations to target specific customers.
That's great. It's great that you mentioned, you send out reactivation emails to your or SMSs to your customers saying, hey, there's a 5% discount. Why don't you make this purchase, or why don't you order this again? So that brings me to this question about customer retention rates and CLV. So do you think customer retention rate and CLV have gained a higher priority over new customer acquisition for e-commerce? And if you think that way, and how is SMS bump, blazing the trail in that segment?
Yeah, it's actually a great question. It's very important. These are two very important things in e-commerce nowadays, especially in after this pandemic. I think
Yeah.
the cost of acquiring new clients will always be higher than the cost of retaining your existing ones. However, I don't think you can weigh customer acquisition and customer retention. It depends on what stage your store is at, what your business
Mhm.
goals are. Ideally, you would want to focus on growth, but also on retention and loyalty as well. So I think they're kind of two sides of the same coin. But just circling back with the increasing competition online, now we have more stores online. So now there are more stores targeting your customers. There are more stores in general targeting customers. So it's worth considering how you want to treat your repeat customers and how you want to treat your customers in general. So of course, they are equally important, but keep in mind always that there's a lot of competition nowadays, and you're responsible for your clients and how you treat them.
Great. Like you mentioned, because of the pandemic, I think the number of e-commerce stores has surged, and also the fact that a lot of people are heading towards customer retention strategies compared to what they were doing earlier. Did you see an upswing in the number of users who started using SMS marketing after the pandemic? And if so, do you have a theory as to why they started using more SMS marketing?
Yeah, yeah. We did see an influx of new customers.
Mhm.
I think around over two times. So I think it was 250% growth we
Wow.
saw between 2019 2020. Yep, quite a lot. So it's just tons and tons of stores opened up, and thankfully, because we have a good reputation for our effectiveness, combined with the great KPIs that SMS brings as a marketing channel,
Right.
we have been known to be a must-have app in Shopify, and we saw enormous influx of new customers. As to the why, SMS in general gives brands a way to talk to customers. As I said, conversationally, to kind of create personalized communication, and it's a great channel when we are locked at home. We are on our phones, and it's different to just running ads. It's a little bit different to email also. So it's kind of when you're at home on your phone, you can still connect to a store or to a brand via SMS conversationally. So this may be a factor, but as I said in the beginning, it's just the effectiveness of SMS in general. It's a must-have for any online store. And with more stores opening, it's it makes sense that they start using
Yeah.
SMS.
So that brings me to this question. When do you think is the right time to implement SMS marketing? Is it right from the beginning, as soon as the launch of the e-commerce stores, they should implement the SMS strategy, or do you think there is a specific revenue that they should be generating to start using SMS marketing?
Yeah, yeah. I think there is a quote I love actually. When is the best time to open online store? Well, it was 10 years ago, but the second best time is now. So yeah, I think straight away is the best answer to this question. Um, if you're not already using SMS in your online store, just start collecting phone numbers straight away, just as you do
Mm-hmm.
emails.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because the more subscribers you have, you'll have a better return on investment from your orders by using SMS. You can also create a more varied and more interesting segments of your users. You can create more tailored campaigns, automations, and flows. Um, and just make sure you're not exhausting your subscribers list, because the bigger your audience, the more segmentation you can have, and the more different campaigns you can send without over spamming them. So I think straight away
Should
you
straight
should
away.
consider, yeah, just like
Okay.
email. Yeah.
Okay. So is that a kind of a workflow that you suggest for a successful retention strategy for e-commerce businesses while implementing SMS marketing? Like, do you have some sort of a strategy for successful retention? You said you were segmenting it based on the purchases and then sending out SMSs at different points in the customer journey, right? So do you
Yeah.
have some
Yeah.
sort of a playbook where you can help e-commerce businesses have plan out a successful retention strategy?
um For sure, there's I talk about this for hours, but one of the key things that you want to do is first start collecting subscribers as soon as possible, and
Mm-hmm.
start automating as soon as possible. So one of the
Mm-hmm.
things, some of these things are interlinked. For example, when in terms of collecting subscribers, you can collect subscribers in many ways on your website with a pop-up. With a form on your website, with a button. Um, One of the other ways is adding also a field in your checkout where people can, as they check out, they can enter their phone number and sign up for SMS messaging. But just make sure you're collecting those phone numbers, and then automate as soon as possible. So like add an abandoned cart reminder,
Mm-hmm.
consider adding cross sells and upsells, and just seeing where you can add this SMS as a channel to your communication with clients. Um, there are just countless ways, and because we know that there's just so much ways that you can use SMS. We In SMS Bump you can find rich libraries with automations, with flows that we have seen
Okay.
work, and we spend time, a lot of time actually, thinking of new ways you can use SMS. So we create these templates that you can
Okay.
add, and just in terms of retention, it's making sure that at each step of the journey, of the customer journey, you're contacting your clients with SMS without over spamming them. So if you have a customer who hasn't purchased in the last 30 days, just send them a reminder message: hey, come back, purchase with us. Or if they haven't if they purchased on Valentine's Day last year, and you have
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day coming up this year, just segment people that bought on Valentine's Day last year from your campaign. Then from your SMS campaign, then you can send a campaign now and say, oh, hey, Valentine's Day is coming up this year as well. Make use of this promo that we have. Just making sure that you're connecting with your clients in all possible ways for all possible communications that you have for your promotions.
That's great. That's great. So earlier we had only email as a channel for marketing. Now there are different channels. As far as e-commerce marketing is concerned, do you think multi-channel e-commerce marketing as a strategy has evolved in recent times?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I think with the depreciation now of the third-party cookies by Google and the
Mm-hmm.
constant battles that Google and Facebook are facing with publishers, with countries, with market regulators, with privacy advocates, it's important to invest in all different channels because if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, you can lose out a lot if there's a big change. So in this sense, email and SMS are great because you retain ownership of the channel. You collect the contact details of your clients and your website visitors, and if you follow the laws and the compliance and don't overdo it, don't over spam, you have your own database of clients, which is just marketing gold, and you can create any kind of campaign you for any kind of reason and have rich segmentation, and it's just incredible. So I know, but to finish off, I think, yep, you have to consider every channel because of
Yeah.
course Facebook and Google are all great for advertising still.
Yeah, dependency on one channel is always risky,
Very
right?
risky.
So, yeah. So I'm going to, start. I think I'm going to leave you with one last question, which is
Mhm.
kind of a cliche, kind of an obvious one. According to you, what does the future of e-commerce marketing look like?
um, it's very difficult to tell
Yeah.
what the future
No,
will
you
hold,
can
and
tell me
I
some one trend or one, the one thing that is going to catch on fire in the future, something that you think it's going to, it's going to be like go to strategy for e-commerce businesses as far as marketing is concerned.
this morning I was reading about the plans for Google to the plans for Google to depreciate third-party cookies for the Chrome browser and what implications this might have. Um, and no one really knows what's going to happen, but changes are coming in 2022. So I think the future is very unstable, and I think what's important is that you make use of every single channel that you see other stores are using and that are available. We talked about SMS messaging here. We talked a little about email. We talked about Google and Facebook, but also push notifications on your website
Yeah,
is another channel. Just consider everything that is out there and implement it in your store, and keep track of what's happening. It's what's really important nowadays is to just be informed about the changes that are happening and what is working and what is changing. I think
yeah,
that,
that's great.
that's as much as I can say.
So to summarize, what you're saying is diversify the channels for marketing, as well as keep experimenting, keep measuring, and keep tweaking them. So that
Yeah,
summarizes it
yeah.
all really well. Thank you, Dimitar, for taking your time to speak with us. It's been great having you on our
Thank,
show.
thanks a lot too, and I wish you much success for your show. It
Thank
would
you.
be great to be featured again, and I will be listening in to see what your other guests are saying in the next
Yeah,
episode.
that's great. That's awesome. Thank you so much.